I swear I've done this video like 5 times, and for whatever reason my phone just keeps stopping the video in the middle of it. So I'm starting over. So if I miss something, I don't know what to tell you, but let's get into it. So welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about books that I read in October and November. So I don't know if I'm going to go too much into October because I kind of don't remember what I read. There's been so many books, and I meant to do this video last month, but I completely forgot. So I'm going to try my best to remember what I read. But for the most part, I think I got all of the books that I read. There might be 1 or 2 that may be missing from this video, but that's okay because we'll eventually get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, just a little life update. I became a cat mom. Look, I don't even want to hear you say, but Jalissa, you don't even like cats. You're right. I don't. But for some reason, something in my spirit was like, you need a cat. Get a cat. I don't know why. But I got her. And she's freaking adorable. She's so sweet. She's a mama's baby, Avi. And she's very independent too. Like my dog is very needy. Like he want to be around me, up under me. He want to breathe me. He has to, like, literally touching my feet right now. He has to be touching me. But she's more like, I'll come over for a minute or 2. I'll let you pet me and call me cute. And then, I'm going to be on my way. She don't give a shit. She does not care at all. But I love her. And her name is Wednesday. And she's 3 months old. And she's hiding over here. Hold on. Look at my little munchkins. Say hi. Hello. My son calls her the Halloween cat because we got her on Halloween, or the day before Halloween, from the shelter. And when they posted her, I was just like, I have to have her. Like, I've been wanting a black cat or a gray cat, and I really want a Maine Coon. And when I saw her picture, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like she has Maine Coon in her bloodline. Because look at those ears. Hey, mama. Hi. She's so cute. Okay, so just wanted to show y'all that little update, but let's get into it. So the first series that I read, this is not the first one, but you know me in this video, the first one. Anyway, the first series from my favorite author, Kennedy Ryan. Girl, Miss Ma'am, you did your big one with this one. You did. I absolutely love this series. The first book from this series is called Long Shot. This one deals with Iris, which is the girl lead, and August, which is the male lead. This one was very triggering, especially if you've been through domestic violence, SA, all that. I did not know that when I read this, so I had to take my time at certain parts and just take a breather because I was like, whoa, this is intense. So just fair warning for anybody who hasn't read it yet, trigger warning. But it's such a good storyline. What I love about Kennedy Ryan is the way that she develops her characters. I love their storylines and how they come together. Even though some of her books have like a slow burn to it, it's not a slow burn in a way that like, oh, I don't want to read this book. This book is boring. I've lost interest. Blase, blase, blase. It's never that. It always makes you want to keep going in her stories. And this series is no different than any other book that I've read from her. She writes very well. So basically, August is the male lead. He's a basketball player. He plays in college, and he's getting drafted to the NBA. He meets Iris at a bar. One night he's just chilling, having a beer, whatever. I don't even know if he drinks, to be honest. I can't remember if he was drinking. But he was at the bar chilling, watching sports, and he heard this girl talking so obnoxious about the referees and da-da-da. So he was very intrigued on, like, who's this woman? Like, you know, this woman knows so much about sports, so you know how men are. And so he was very intrigued by her. Turns around, falls in love with her instantly. They talk all night and then they go their separate ways. He doesn't get her number or anything like that because he didn't want to come off, you know. So they just kind of went their separate ways until he went to an event for like, what do you call it? Athletes entering into the draft, and he sees his rivalry there, and she's on his arm, and he's like, what? I hate that guy, but I love you. Like, why? You know? So he was pretty bummed that she had a boyfriend and she didn't tell him, because she knew who he was by his stats for basketball and all that. So she didn't tell him who she was and who she was dating. She ends up marrying the bad guy, getting pregnant, deals with a whole bunch of abuse from him and his, well, I don't know if I would say family, but because he's so rich and privileged and his dad kind of just sweeps things under the rug or pay people off, I would say his dad knew better and could have helped her, but he didn't. So, you know, August takes it in his hands to be there for her, take care of her, and, you know, just give her everything that she needs. Like, you know, he didn't care if he was, you know, poor or whatever. He was going to make sure that she was straight and that her baby was straight, regardless. This was a really good read. Definitely give it a 5 out of 5. I give the whole series a 5 out of 5, just FYI. I breezed through this. This was easy to just get through because I did not want to put it down, because I was like, okay, I got to get through the end because I have to know how her story ends, how their story ends, and like what happens. So I'm not going to give away too much because I want you to be able to read the book, find out for yourself. I don't want to give it away. I know people hate that, and I don't know what's giving away and what's not, so I'm just going to keep it simple. But definitely give it a 5 out of 5. So the next book in her series, the Hoop series, is Blockshot. And this one has to do with August from the first book, his cousin. Not his cousin. I'm an idiot. His stepbrother. The third one is about the cousin. But anyway, we'll get to that. So this one is about August's brother. His name is Jared. This is his stepbrother from his mom's current marriage. But they see each other as blood brothers. And Banner is the girl that he went to college with. She was his tutor. And they had like a one-night thing, and his frat brothers shamed him for it because she was thick, and she's always been a thick, voluptuous woman. And you know how guys are in college, so they pretty much, and she hears all of it, and she's so embarrassed and mortified, and they don't speak again for years. I'm talking about till they're full-on grown adults in their careers and all things. They don't speak to each other. And then they started meeting in the same circles because they're athlete managers / publicists. I don't know what the correct term for that is, but that's what they do in their careers. Jared started a company with August. August is kind of like the silent partner, so nobody knows he owns it because, you know, he's an athlete. He doesn't want people to know him, blah, 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 blah. And so he puts his brother as the head face of the company so that, you know, so nobody knows that it's him. And he starts seeing Banner everywhere, and they start just going after the same athletes for contracts and da-da-da. And, you know, he starts getting memories back, like, you know, like how much he loved her, and, you know, she's been away for so long, and blase, blase. Of course, she doesn't want anything to do with him because she's still mad at him what happened in college. So she tries to like not speak to him when she sees him or whatever. She happens to be dating a very famous basketball player in this book. He ends up getting sick, really sick. And, you know, so she has to decide whether to stay with him or be with Jared and all things. I don't want to give away too much, but you will get through it. And let me just say that the men in these stories are everybody in these stories are a bunch of freaks, okay? And August, even though he's the nice guy, he's very respectable, da-da-da, he's nasty. Just for his woman, though. Just for his woman. And Jared comes off very poised, very conservative, very like all about his business, all about his money, being professional. But he is nasty. He's a nasty swans. He's disgusting. He is a freak nasty. And that's all I'm going to say. So the third book is Hookshot. And this one has to do with Keenan. You will hear more about Keenan in the second book because he plays with August on their team. And like I said before, he's older, so he mentors August because they make August the captain of their team. And, you know, they have to whip them in shape together to play cohesively because they want to win a championship. So, okay. So now you'll get more of his story. And, you know, he used to be married to his high school sweetheart, but then she cheated on him with one of his teammates, so they got... All right, so I keep having to stop because my 2-year-old needs my attention. But let's keep going. So the next book that I read from Kennedy Ryan is Before I Let Go. And this is a good story. It was just a very slow burn for me. But I did like it, and I have to read the next one because I want to get the third one. The third one is purple. If you know me, one of my colors is purple. My favorite color is black, but I love purple, as you can tell. So I love the cover of it. All of her covers are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's a really good read. It was sad. Some parts were sad, some points were joyous. So basically it's about a married couple. They lose their unborn son, and you know, the whole family has to navigate through the grief. And his grandmother, I think it was his grandmother, ends up dying, and she raised him. She was really close to his wife. The whole family in general, really, she was the center of their family, and she passed away too, like not far from the baby dying. So they have 2 other kids. The oldest is a girl and their middle child is a boy. And so everybody's just like navigating through all the grief and the hurt and the disappointment of, you know, losing their loved ones. But she gets into a really deep depression after all of it. And, you know, she just dissociated herself from her marriage, and they end up getting divorced. And so like they're like trying to navigate that life of being divorced, even though they both still love each other. But, you know, she knows that she hurt him bad and that he would probably never want her back. But he secretly wants her back because that's his wife. Like, you know, that's his ace boon coon. Like, you know, I can't hate you because of what you went through, but at the same time, I hate you because you hurt me and left me, type of thing. So this was very, very, very emotional. Right. So that was this book. Definitely give this a 5 out of 5. Just be ready to have some tissues. All right, so I'm going to use my iPad for the rest of my titles because I have not bought... Actually, I did buy one. I can't find it. We ain't gonna worry about it right now. So the next book I read was this one. Can you see? It's called Caught Up by Liz Tomforde. I don't know how you say her last name because some of the narrators say Tom Ford, and then one narrator said Tom Fordy. So I don't know which one it is. So I apologize, but her name is Liz Tomforde with an E. So I don't know. But anyway, so she has the series called The Wendy series, and that's another one of my favorites. She's another one of my favorite authors. I have not read anything else of hers, only the Wendy series. And I'm telling you, it's another sports series. I don't know what it is about me and sports. I don't know. So weird. But either way, either how, it's another sports series, and all of the men are just nasty. The women too. It's equal between the women and the men in these stories. They love each other down. But Caught Up, if you've seen, I don't know if I've done a video. I think I did it on TikTok. I don't know if I put it on YouTube. I don't know. But Caught Up is, which one is that one? That one is the baseball player. Oh, and I love baseball. that one is the baseball player. He's a daddy, and he has a baby with a girl, and she ends up dropping the baby off at his doorstep saying, I can't be a mom, blase, blase. So she bounces. She leaves her baby, and she's like, he's all yours. Have at it. Which is kind of fucked up. But anyway, and so he takes responsibility. He's a good dad. He's a good man. He's a good, captain of his team, role model, leader, all the things. He's good looking. Okay. And so he falls in love with the coach's daughter. Right? Yeah, the coach's daughter. She's like very gone with the wind type of person. She bounces from city to city. She never stays put. She's a chef, so she's always like cooking in different cities and da 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 da. She ends up, I think she's like on a break or whatever until she has to do like this really important chef job somewhere else. So she's off for the whole summer. So her dad hires her to be the babysitter to the baseball player that has the kid because he wants to spend time with her. So if he gives her a job so she can get paid, he knows that she will stay because she kind of lives out of her like little Volkswagen van type of thing, and travels the country. So she stays to help her dad out and to spend more time with her dad. But then, they start bumping into each other, and their banter back and forth is, she's very smart. She's a smart ass. I'm just gonna say she's a smart ass. So their banter back and forth is so funny sometimes. But, they start catching feelings for each other, and, but she's like, maybe it could just be a fling for the summer. And then, once this date starts, I have to go and we'll just end it, da da da. And obviously that doesn't happen because does that ever work? No, it doesn't. But they're funny. I love them. They're so funny, the banter between the two of them. And the baseball player has a brother. So that's going to be the next book that we talk about. He has a little brother. They both play on the same team. The next one is about his brother. So this one came out this summer. So it was like perfect timing. But I didn't read it until just recently because I wanted to finish up that one. So the next book is Play Along. Yeah, the oldest brother's name is Kai and his name is Isaiah. So in this one, his oldest brother is, thinking about retiring, so that he could settle down with his wife and his baby. They end up hiring a new medical staff person. Her name is Kennedy. She's actually qualified to be like the head medical person for the team, but the guy that hired her thought she was a man because her name was, I think she put on her application like Ken, but her name is Kennedy. So he thought he was hiring a man. He's very sexist, by the way. Very sexist, that guy. So when she showed up to her interview, he was like taken aback because he thought he was hiring a guy. So he pretty much gave her the position, but downsized her to she was like the bottom of the barrel. Like she doesn't have a whole master's degree, like she could be a head physician there. So she's like, whatever, I'm gonna take the job and show him that I can do this or whatever. Other Isaiah likes to spend his time in the women's bathroom because there is no women on their staff. They have female bathrooms, but they have no women on their staff. So he goes to a female bathroom to like talk to himself and, calm down because, they lost their mother when they were a kid. His brother raised him because their dad was a deadbeat. So, he just, every time it comes around to her birthday, I believe, he kind of like disassociates from everybody and he just kind of like hides in there. So she ends up going to the bathroom after her interview and they run into each other. So they start talking back and forth and she's like, you're weird for being in here. And he's like, you're weird for talking to yourself in the mirrors, whatever. So then they just like have this banter back and forth. He hits on her because he's childish, but he hits on her while she's working and, it's playful. It's fun. She doesn't think nothing of it, but then they start getting serious because her parents want her to not marry somebody, but she was engaged to a guy who is now engaged to her stepsister, which is so weird. Anyway, but to get back at them, to show them that she's not phased, he pretends to be her husband. So they got married when they went to like Vegas or something like that. They were drunk, they got it, whatever. So it's a good story. The storyline is very good. She has to make a hard decision whether she's gonna leave to go do that job or she's gonna stay to be with the love of her life. And I loved it. If you know me, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love all romance, even with the sad stuff in there. As long as the ending is happy, I'm good. I don't know if I could have got through the book if the ending was terrible, because I would cry. But other than that, 5 out of 5 for both the books. The whole series is a 5 out of 5. You definitely